I have decided to do a glow stick yarn dyeing experiment. And originally what I was going to do was just keep the wool natural, but I figure that even though it hopefully will glow, it will still be a little boring. So I've decided to dye it with food coloring, with neon food coloring, because we're working with glow sticks. And I've decided to mix blue and green in hopes to get like a greeny blue, I guess, for lack of a better word, turquoisey, I guess. But anyway, so what I've done with the glow stick, I've had to break it open, and what I did was I used a soldering tool that I really don't care about if it gets burnt plastic on it, and I've used that to cut open the base here. Took the base off. Here's the base of the other one here. So I took the base off, and I dumped you have to be careful while dumping the mixture inside of the first tube, because there is a glass vial inside which makes the glow stick glow once you break it. So I dumped the first mixture into this teacup there, and then after racking my brain on how to break open the glass vial without having the glass shards in the liquid, so knitters and crocheters don't slice their fingers open once they when they're crafting with my yarn, I finally decided to put the glass vial back into the empty tube, cover the opening with packing tape, and just break it open like you would normally would for a glow stick. And then I took the tape off, and then as you can see here, well, maybe not. It is glowing a little blue. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but I dumped the fluid into a separate teacup. Now, the way that the plastic melted on the other one, it kept the broken glass vial from falling out of the glow stick. So that's hopefully what will happen for you if you decide to do this experiment. If not, I would just err on the side of caution. Because it is glass, you don't want to get it into the dye bath and then have your yarn pick it up, and then you work with it and you cut yourself. So err on the side of caution. Make sure that there are no glass shards in with the fluid. Now, I haven't, obviously, as you see here, I haven't dyed my yarn yet. So I'm going to dye my yarn. Actually, I'm going to here. So with the color that I want, I'm doing this one-handed because I'm holding my phone with the other. So I just want, let's say, 2 drops of that. That'll be good. And then we'll do 20 drops of this. If I can get the thing open here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 10, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. And then with my spoon, which seems to have gone missing somewhere. Here it is. Okay, so it appears to be a little bit more green than I wanted, so I'm just going to put in a few more drops of the blue. Mix it up, see what it looks like. I know you can't really see the color on camera, it's still too green for me. Okay, so what I'm hoping now is, we all know glow sticks tend to lose their glow after a day or two. So I'm hoping that the yarn, if it does take at all, will still glow under black light. So it's still a little green, but it's an experiment, so I guess it really doesn't matter what color. I'm not looking for an exact colorway here, as I don't have a project in mind. It's just an experiment. Okay, so I'm going to put my dye bath on to boil. Well, not to boil, to simmer. And we'll be back once I've dyed this yarn and dried it. Then I'm going to try dyeing it again with the glow stick fluid. Now, I suppose I could just put the glow stick fluid in this dye bath now, but I'm hoping that by dyeing it separately, the glow stick fluids will take and make it glow. I'm worried that if I put the fluids in with this dye bath, that it's not going to work. So I'm going to try it separately. Maybe someday I'll try putting the fluid in together and see if it still works, if this experiment does in fact work. So we will be back. Okay, so we're back, and this is the color of the yarn. As you can see, it has different colors in it, because when I first put the yarn in, it was really, really green. I don't know how well you can see it. It's kind of dark on camera, but this part here is kind of like a Kelly green, and then you get up in here with the blues and the it kind of is like a turquoisey aqua color. I like it, but yeah, that's happened because I added more blue after I submerged some of the yarn, and then so it's kind of a variant that we have, or gradient, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so now I know I said that I was going to wait until this dried, but then I realized that was kind of silly of me, because I have to soak the yarn in water to dye it again. So it is still, well, it's not wet, but it is damp, so hopefully it won't float and will submerge. So here is the what's it called? The glow stick fluid. Now I can't, one of them has stopped glowing, so I can't tell which is which, but I guess it really doesn't matter because it's going right into the pot. Now, as I was dyeing and cooling my yarn here, I thought that the water might deactivate the glow. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know really how glow sticks are made off the top of my head. There is a YouTube video, but I'm not going to go back and watch it right now. So I'm hoping that it'll still work. So this is my water vinegar mixture, and I'm going to pour both of the, oh, it seems to have separated. Awesome. Oh, you can see that there is still a little bit of glow happening there. I've lost my spoon again. Okay. So there is a little bit of glow happening. I can't guarantee that it will be uniform glow throughout the entire skein of yarn, but one can hope. So I'm just going to put this on to simmer, and we'll come back with the finished result. We'll let the yarn dry overnight and put it under black light, and we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. I'm kind of really excited about this. I really hope it works. Alright, so we'll see tomorrow. Okay, so I know the lighting in here is very dark, but I had to move into a dark room to do this. I did test this out before I started videoing it, and it does glow. I don't know what that pink is, but alright. It does glow, not as much as I hoped that it would, but it does. And I noticed, while doing the experiment last night with the glow stick fluids, that once it starts boiling, the smell is actually very pungent. So if you're going to do this experiment, do it with windows open and a well-ventilated area. If you have an exhaust fan over your stove, put the exhaust fan on, because essentially you are working with chemicals. And also, because the fluids that we used are essentially clear once it stops glowing. It is essentially clear. You can't tell how much of the fluid that the yarn absorbed. I let it sit on the stove in a very low simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes, just to ensure that it did absorb a lot of the fluid, if not most of it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the light. So it's going to get dark here in here for a second. And now I'm going to turn on my gigantic black light. And I don't know if you can really tell here. I mean, it's easier to tell. That's kind of a bummer that you can't really see. Oh, maybe if I get closer you can. That the yarn is actually glowing. Now, it is a soft glow. There you can see it a little bit better now. It is a soft glow, and of course, in person, it's glowing a little bit more than what's showing up on camera here. But it is a soft glow, and as I suspected, it didn't saturate the yarn. It's only picked up a little bit of the fluid on some of the strands. Now I'm gonna try to. So it did pick up the fluids. It's just I was hoping that it would be a brighter glow than this. But all in all, I would say that the experiment is a success. I do have other ideas on how to make UV blacklight yarn. I just ordered some UV liquid dye last night on eBay. So I'm hoping to use that. I'm hoping that it'll get to me very quickly, and so I can experiment with that to make UV yarn that hopefully glows a little bit more than this does, but it is glowing. Like I said, on camera you can't really see how well it's glowing, but it is glowing. It's kind of neat looking. I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to sell this. Depends on if I can get a decent quality camera to capture exactly how much this yarn is glowing, because pictures are everything. But yeah, it's like I said, the experiment is a success, and I'm excited to see what the next blacklight yarn experiment is going to be like when I get that UV liquid dye in the mail. So tune in, I guess, for lack of a better word, next time to see what other experiments I cook up, and I definitely will be filming the experiment for the UV liquid dye experiment. So yes, so keep watching. I know this is only my first video, but there are going to be tons more to come. So we will see you in the future.